Good morning, students. Today is our sixth lecture of our plus one chemistry, and we are doing the second chapter. That is in that most important is your electronic configuration. Firstly, I can understand your mistakes. Most of you writing the configuration of a chromium is wrong. Chromium positive. That I have checked your homework. In that you write a chromium positive is wrong. Firstly, that is a chromium. Atomic number is 24. And this is the exceptional cases. Up to argon, that is atomic number 18, that is configuration remains same. After that, 4s1, 3d5. Clear? In our next, if we are writing the configuration of a chromium positive, positive means they are forming a cation and losing the one electron. It means one electron is removed and that electron is we have to remove in from a 4s orbital and the configuration become Ar3d5. Next we have to mention it in our orbitals. Most of you not in a diamagnetic or paramagnetic character. You are just writing the answer, that is a paramagnetic or the diamagnetic. Show them in our orbitals also. In that we have to clear that is they have a diamagnetic character or a paramagnetic character. In this we have to fill the 5 electrons in a 3d5, and most of you do not write this. This is compulsion to mention. It shows that in a 3d orbitals 5 electrons are present. This one is clear? Your major mistake. Now today our topic is shapes of orbitals. In a shapes of orbital we have discussed that is a in a periodic table 4 types of blocks are there, that is S, P, D and F, and these orbitals have a shape also. It is surprising to know that na how. That is today we have discussed about the shapes of orbitals. In a first we have discussed the shape of S orbital. Now for a S orbital, L equal to 0 and value of M is 0. It means only a single orbital is present for a S. In a 1s or 2s, for a S we are mention a single orbital. Now the shape of orbital, S orbital, spherical shape, Z, X, Y. These are the dimensions, X axis, Y axis and the Z axis. But the shape of S orbital is here spherical. And it is also called non-directional. Why it called a non-directional? Because there is no distinguish between the X, Y and Z axis. So that's why it is called a non-directional shape of S orbital. There are the many more concepts that I have discussed later. Now we have to discuss about the shapes of P orbital. Second one block is P block, that is the orbital is called P orbitals. Now for a P, your value of L is 1. ML value is -1, 0, +1. It means in that case, in a case of a P orbital, that is 3 orbital are present. we are mentioned like this. For example, 2p, 3p. It means p orbital have a 3 shapes. And name of a that shape is px, py, and pz. How can we? That is, this one is x-axis, this one is y-axis, and this one is z-axis. In a P, that is, two lobes are present on a x-axis. That shape is called px. In a y, two lobes are present on a y-axis. That is called py. And in z, two lobes are present on a z-axis. That is called pz. 3 orbitals are there. It means it from these px, py, and pz orbitals are there. In a case of x, two lobes are present on x-axis. In a case of y, y-axis, and in a case of y, that is present on a z-axis. And these are called lobes. And at that point, this is called a node. Now, what is a node? At that point, that is a density of electron. The probability of finding the electron is 0. At that point, no electron is present. That is called a node. Next, we have to discuss about the d orbitals. Shapes of d orbitals. In a case of a d orbitals, value of L is equal to 2. ml is equal to plus 2, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. In that case, 5 orbitals are present. We are mentioned like this. These 5 orbital, d orbital. Clear? Now it means that d orbital have a 5 shapes. And that shapes is dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and dz square. These are 5 types of shapes are there. dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and dz square. We are discussing about the d shapes. For a d shapes, that is L is equal to 2, ml is equal to minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, and plus 2, and there are the 5 orbitals present this time. And the names of these orbitals is dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and dz square. In this one thing is more. In a case of p orbitals, p orbitals is also p block elements, or the p shapes is also called dumbbell shape. Clear? We have discussed shapes of orbitals. In a case of s orbital, there are the spherical shape. In a case of a p, there are the 3 orbitals present, that is 2, px, py, and pz. And in a case of px, that is 2 lobes are present on the x-axis. In a case of a py, lobes are present on a y-axis, and in case of a z, that is lobes are present on a z-axis. In this one, that space is called node. What is node? That the probability of finding the electron density in that region is 0. That is called node. Now we will draw the shapes of a deep along elements or the deep orbitals. In a case of this one here x-axis, this one here z-axis, and this one here y-axis, and we are drawing a shape of dxy. In a case of this xy, lobes are present between xy axis, this one xy and this one, and second lobe is present in this between this one. Second shape is d xy y z. This one here x-axis, this one here z-axis, this one here y. Now in a case of y and z, this one is z, this one is y between. Now y z. Next here dzx, x z y, zx, 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 this one is the shape of a zx orbit. Next here 5 orbitals are there. Next is dx square minus y square. X, y, z. These are present on x-axis, also on y-axis. Next one here dz square, x, y, z in this like this. Shape of a dz square is a different from this. In all these that 4 lobes are present, but in a case of dz square only 2 lobes are present, and 2 lobes are present on a z axis, and here the 2 rings are present, and in that reason, that is electron density is more. We are finding the maximum electrons in that region. Next one is this one shape is called, shape of a dz square is called shape of this called donut shape, dz square. Shape of a dz square is called donut shape. And in a case of a p orbitals, that is called a dumbbell shape. But in a case of a d orbital, d orbital shapes, it is called dumbbell shape. Clear? D orbital shape is called a double and the p orbital is called dumbbell shape. In the case of a p orbital, only two loops are present, but in a case of a d orbital, there are the four loops are present on a different axis. This is about your shapes of orbital. You have in a syllabus that is only SPD and F orbitals shape. Thank you.